Hello, my name is Lauren Hanson. I work for Centrifuge Systems. Today we will discuss the DCSniper incident, which took place over 3 weeks in October of 2002. I actually had the privilege of working with the FBI's Critical Incidents Response Group and Supervisory Special Agent in Charge Michael McCoy, who actually led the FBI's investigation of these snipers. We designed a new system that they could roll onto an airplane and collect data in a more cohesive fashion. During the incident, during these 3 weeks, they had an agent that drove around from to all the different jurisdictions to collect 3.5-inch floppies of Microsoft Access data. Data was then brought back to a fusion center, and they tried to make some sense out of all of this data that was collected. We now have a collection of all of the reports from the incident that were made accessible to us, and we're using that in this demo. This demo will show how visual analytics could have benefited and sped up the identification of the vehicle involved in all these incidents and possibly sped up the capture of these two criminals. Some initial reports during the investigation and while these events were occurring were that a white van was always seen. Well, of course, there are a lot of white work vans in the areas where these take place. There's just a lot of white vans on the road. As you can see from our column chart here, Maryland and Virginia had the most reported license plate states. If we drill down here, we will see that a white van was in fact reported more often than anything else. White truck here was close, but a white van was the most commonly reported vehicle. If we drill down into the white vans and look at this particular license plate, and the rest of these license plate numbers were all ones. If we select this guy here and we broadcast that over to our geospatial visualization, we'll see that really this plate only showed up in one area, just around the Georgia Avenue area, Silver Spring, just north of Washington, D.C. As you can see here on the link chart, it literally shows up in 3 spots. So that doesn't really pass the test of, yeah, this vehicle was involved in all of these shootings. They spent several days chasing white vans and attempting to find the people that were associated with this particular van. Once they did, they found out, yeah, he was making deliveries in that area during that time, so it's no big deal. If we look at our link chart here, we can see that 2 license plates, which are the blue dots, show up larger. That's because we sized them by the count of distinct locations where they were sighted. This one here was sighted 8 times. This one, which we now know was in fact the perpetrator's vehicle, was sighted 14 times. In fact, if we select this vehicle here and we broadcast over to our geospatial visualization, we can see that it shows up in most all of these locations where these incidents took place. So we've identified that this is the most commonly spotted vehicle in all these places, except for a couple. But in general, it was pretty much spotted in a lot of the areas where these incidents took place. So if we clear this, I'm going to clear some of this stuff out and just show only this vehicle. We can drill down into the data and find some more information. In fact, I'll get rid of this geospatial. We can get a better look at our data here. I was going out searching the New Jersey DMV to find the actual vehicle, and hopefully these plates weren't stolen, which they weren't. If we go in and look at this particular vehicle, we find the vehicle identification number on it from the New Jersey. We could of course find the other information from, about the owner, when it was registered, that sort of thing. Now we have identified the vehicle and the vehicle identification number. If we look at the more details, we see that it was in fact a blue Chevrolet Caprice, a 1990 model. We can further drill down into some information. If we go out to do a national vehicle database search, we can find more information. In fact, this vehicle has had 3 owners. If we look here at Troy Smith, he purchased the vehicle in 1998 and he lives in New York. If we go look at Angela Markham and look at her information, she was probably the original owner since it's a 1990 model car. She purchased it in 1990. She lived in New Jersey. She probably sold it to a car lot or sold it directly to Troy. If we go down and look at John Allen Muhammad, who is the actual perpetrator, and see that he actually purchased a car in 2001 and it's registered in New Jersey, which we know now that this license plate was in fact from New Jersey, and that he was the perpetrator. If we go in here and let's select John Allen Muhammad, we can actually go out to the FBI's National Crime Database and find more information about him and see if he has any warrants. And as it turns out, John Allen Muhammad has an assault warrant in the state of Washington, a restraining order in Maryland for harassing his ex-wife. He has a warrant actually in Alabama for an armed robbery that he and Lee Boyd Malvo committed before they came to the DC area. And then he also has a federal violation for an immigration charge while he was trying to get Lee Boyd Malvo into the country across the Canadian border. So as you can see, with visual analytics, this investigation could have gone a lot smoother. They possibly could have caught the perpetrators a lot earlier. So I thank you for your time in listening to how visual analytics could have certainly aided this investigation and helped solve this crime a lot faster.